Honkai Star Rail version 3.4 is finally here, and with it comes the game's latest 5-star character, Phainon, the hero of Amphorius. Phainon is a physical destruction character whose kit is built around his ultimate, which lets him transform into a playable final boss with some of the best animation in the game. If you were lucky enough to get Phainon, we'll be breaking down how his kit works, plus his best light cones, relics, and teammates. Phainon needs to build up 12 stacks of Core Flame to activate his ultimate. He gains Core Flame stacks when he uses his skill, gets targeted by ally abilities, or gets hit by enemies. He can have a maximum of 15 Core Flame stacks. Getting targeted by ally abilities will be Phainon's main method of building up Core Flame stacks, as those also give him a 30% crit damage buff for 3 turns. When Phainon activates his ultimate, he transforms into his final boss form and creates a territory. While in his ultimate's territory, Phainon will be the only party member in the field. Yes, he becomes the solo carry. After transforming, Phainon gains massive attack and HP buffs, restores HP whenever he attacks, becomes immune to all crowd control debuffs, implants all enemies with physical weakness, gains 3 new abilities, and gets 8 extra turns. Those 8 extra turns means any buffs Phainon had upon transforming will remain for the entire duration of his ultimate. Now, let's get into Phainon's 3 new abilities after transforming. His first ability is a blast attack that also gives him 2 stacks of Scourge, which enhances his third ability. Phainon's second ability gives him Scourge stacks equal to the number of enemies present, and advances all of their attacks while reducing the amount of damage he takes. After all enemy targets are done attacking, Phainon launches an AoE counter attack. This ability will be his bread and butter for AoE focused content like Pure Fiction. Phainon's third ability is his heaviest hitter, as he calls meteors down from the heavens to unleash a powerful bounce-type attack. Each stack of Scourge increases the number of bounces for this attack, letting it hit more enemies in multi-target situations while absolutely shredding through single targets. Once Phainon's 8 extra turns are up, he unleashes a final powerful attack that will have its damage evenly distributed across all enemies present. Once he leaves his ultimate form, Phainon also gains 3 Core Flame stacks to help him reach the required 12 stacks he needs to transform again. With his kit out of the way, let's get into how to best build Phainon, starting with light cones. His best light cone is, of course, his signature. Thus burns the dawn. It increases his base speed by 12, lets his attack ignore 18% of enemies' defense, and increases his damage by 60% after using his ultimate. If you don't have Phainon's signature light cone, good alternatives are Brighter Than the Sun, Imbibitor Lunae's signature, A Trail of Bygone Blood, the new Battle Pass light cone coming in version 3.4, and On the Fall of an Aeon from the Simulated Universe's Herta store. Now, onto relics. For Phainon's Cavern of Corrosion relic set, go for the 4-piece Wave Strider Captain. This relic set increases his crit damage by 46% and gives him a whopping 48% attack buff after using his ultimate for 1 turn, after getting targeted by 2 ally abilities. For Phainon's Planar Ornament relics, go for the 2-piece Arcadia of Woven Dream set. It gives him a 36% damage buff after using his ultimate. For the main stats on Phainon's relics, go for crit rate or crit damage chest, speed or attack damage boots, physical damage or attack damage orb, and attack damage rope. Stat goals for Phainon are as much crit rate as possible, ideally 100%, 160 to 200% crit damage, either base speed if attack damage boots, or 136 and above speed if speed boots, and 2500 to 3500 attack. Now onto Phainon's best teammates. Since getting targeted by ally abilities is his primary way of building up Core Flame stacks, you want to have as many Harmony supports alongside him as possible. The 2 best Harmony teammates for Phainon are Sunday and Bronya. Both Sunday and Bronya have abilities that can target Phainon to give him Core Flame stacks while buffing him at the same time. If you don't have one of those 2 characters, you can slot in Tingyun. For the 4th slot in a Phainon team, you can either go for a Sustain character, a 3rd Harmony character, or a Nihility debuffer. For sustains, Huohuo is your best bet. Among the 4 stars, you can go for Lynx or Gallagher. With that said, Phainon doesn't need to have a sustain on his team. Since he tanks everything by himself while in his ult, you're better off having either a 3rd Harmony support or a Nihility debuffer. For a 3rd Harmony support, you can either go for Sparkle, Robin, or Roan Mei. Sparkle gives the most Core Flame stacks out of these 3, but you need to fine-tune your rotations. Robin doesn't give as many Core Flame stacks on her own, but her ult's Party-wide Action Advance lets your other Harmony supports give more Core Flame stacks while also buffing Phainon's damage. Meanwhile, Roan Mei is great at both damage buffs and Core Flame stack generation while also excelling in Apocalyptic Shadow in particular. While technically not a Harmony character, the Remembrance Trailblazer is also a good pick for his true damage buffs. Finally, if you feel like your 2 Harmony supports generate enough Core Flame stacks, you can go for a Nihility support like Silverwolf or Cypher to instead go all in on more damage. Silverwolf received huge buffs in version 3.4 and is now arguably the best debuffer in the game. Cypher's debuffing capabilities are also great, but she can also double as a sub DPS thanks to her ult. If ever Phainon's ultimate is not enough to finish off your enemies, Cypher can use her own ult to clean things up. And there you have it. Follow our guide for Phainon to become the destined hero, continue the flame chase journey, and save Amphorius from destruction.